Ni hao. Yes, my name is Geoffrey Mwambe. I'm the Executive Director of Tanzania Investment Center. I'm very much happy to be here today to share with you some information which are critical in providing you with the necessary tools when you decide to come and invest with us. We definitely need investment in Tanzania. And as my minister and His Excellency Ambassador of Tanzania to China here in Beijing highlighted earlier on, we have embarked into industrialization in Tanzania, and we have adopted the 5-year development plan, which is stressing on industrialization and the key priority sectors that we have set in the development plan. There are 5 of them, but the key one is manufacturing in pharmaceuticals and medical devices. So I'm here to provide you with some information which will be, critical in bridging the gap in terms of market information, and to provide you with the status of investment environment in Tanzania and the rationale, the justification for you to use in your investment decision. And the Investment Center will be there to assist you. Together with me, I have my 2 senior officers who have accompanied me, who will be here to assist you, to give you some more information after the forum today. That is Georgie Mukono, is a senior investment promotion officer and personal assistant to the executive director, myself, and Brendan Maro, who is an expert in pharmaceuticals investment. I'll take you through my presentation by inviting you to look at the list of agenda items. I'll introduce the subject, but also give you a flavor of the economic performance in Tanzania and the rationale for you to come and invest with us in Tanzania, but the investment opportunities that are available, particularly on the pharmaceuticals industry, for drugs and pharmaceutical equipment, medical equipment, and of course the incentive packages that we have to offer to investors, such as our friends from China. And I'll give you a snapshot of the Tanzania investment trends, especially investment from China. So you have your brothers already in Tanzania who have come and invested with us for some time now. So you won't be quite strange in Tanzania. And of course, I'll conclude my presentation. Tanzania is 5th in terms of economic growth. And this is the World Economic Forum report of 2017. Has indicated that Tanzania is among the fast-growing economies, with an impressive growth rate of 7.2% for over a decade now. And we are very much happy, and this is to create a signal. This is to give a signal that the economy is booming, is dynamic, and the demand for products is increasing. In terms of per capita income, which is GDP divided by the population of Tanzania, has been on the increase. We are striving to get to the middle income level by 2025, and we find ourselves on track. And this is pretty good. And when you look at the numbers, you see that the per capita income is increasing. And this is the projection by 2021, but by 2025, we hope that we are going to get there, so that we provide an opportunity for investors to sell their products, because the ability to pay by Tanzanians will be high, and the purchasing power will also be high. This is complemented by the fact that the inflation levels have been coming down to 3.4% last month. The Bank of Tanzania statistics has shown this. And of course, the interest rates offered by the the local banks using the local currency is arguably favorable, especially for prime lending. In terms of foreign direct investment inflows for the country, we've been seeing that the country has registered enormous, more than doubled compared to our neighboring countries in the East African community. Tanzania is leading, though the trend has been, and this is a global trend, you'll see for the other countries, the trend has been like this, depending on the world business cycles. I think for business community, you understand this. But we've been a very attractive country to most of the investments, and fortunately, China has now become number 2 after UK in terms of investments in Tanzania, and we hope after this forum, China is going to overtake UK in terms of investments. Why should we choose to come and invest in Tanzania? My colleagues, the previous speakers had already spoken about it, that Tanzania is, we practice multi-party democracy, but we have very good governance frameworks that we observe, and we have periodic general elections to allow for each one in Tanzania to contest and become the president and to participate in the House of Representatives to show that it's democratic and everybody can take the leading seat. But also, for quite some time now, Tanzania has been a home of refugees. We have never experienced civil wars, so we are considered the most peaceful country in the world. And of course, in Africa, we have set a very good example by not witnessing any civil wars among the 120 tribes in Tanzania that have been in coexistence for quite some time now. In terms of economic growth, I've already hinted about it. It's very impressive, higher growth, low inflation, but the economy is very resilient. We're not very far from the international economic systems, but we've been able to see that our economy is growing despite the global economic crisis that happened many times, but also some commodity shocks. In terms of natural resources, Tanzania is very well known in the world by its land size, which is very arable for different types of investment, but also we possess natural gas since 2004, and we have power that is generated from the gas turbines, but we also use gas for other purposes. But extractive industry is very prominent in Tanzania, from gold, diamond, precious metals like diamond, gemstone, savorites, and of course graphite, and any type of extractive that you can mention. But it is a tourist destination of choice to many. You know Mount Kilimanjaro very well. It's a famous tourist attraction. But we know the mighty Serengeti. That's the national park, which is a wonderful world heritage designated by UNESCO. But we also have Lake Manyara, we have Ngorongoro crater, it's a wonderful crater, but we also have island of Zanzibar and the likes. But also we have a quality labor force. We have 55 million population as a domestic population, but we have an active working population of about 22 million people. In order to assure investors that they can come and invest in Tanzania comfortably, we've gone out to sign bilateral investment treaties with their counterpart countries. This is to assure investors that their investment asset will be safe, they will be guided by the laws, and the Tanzania Investment Act, Section 22 and 23, provide for mechanisms to protect investment. So we have bilateral investment treaties, bilateral investment tax agreement, but also we are signatory to the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency of the World Bank Group, MIGA, This is African trade insurance agents that we've also accessed, and we've provided an avenue for investors in case of non-commercial risks that they can still, after exhausting all the amicable solution mechanisms, they can still access the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, ICSID. This is just to give comfort to an investor that when they come to invest in Tanzania, they are fully covered in terms of guarantee. But Tanzania is serving 7 landlocked countries, now including Zimbabwe nowadays, and we have 3 major ports of Tanga, Dar es Salaam, and Mtwara, which are very big ports, and they serve all these 7 countries. But also we have 3 international airports, which becomes easy now for us to connect between China and Tanzania, but also from Tanzania to other African destinations to access their markets. And Tanzania is a founding member of the East African Community since year 2000, when we re-established the former East African Community, which comprises of 6 countries, so Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan. It has a population of 162 million people. This is very immediate market, because we have signed the protocol for customs union to remove all cross-border tariffs across the contagion borders of those participating countries, but also we've agreed on the rules of origin, which provides for free access to any products which are produced in any of the countries, including Tanzania itself, to go to the other country without being charged any tariff during the crossing of the border. But also we have SADC, 16 countries, SADC in the southern part of Africa, so from Madagascar, Mauritius, Angola, South Africa, Namibia, Swaziland, Congo, Democratic Republic, but also we have Zambia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique. We have a total of 450, and we also are the founding members of SADC. And in fact, the previous SADC, the headquarters was in Tanzania to assist them to get independence with the assistance from China. But then thereafter, after 1990, 1993, we decided to transform it into a development organ to spur economic growth. So you have all the 450 million people to get access to. But we also have a tripartite free trade area of 3 economic blocks of SADC, EAC, and COMESA. COMESA is Common Market for Eastern and Southern African countries. So from Egypt to South Africa, you have access to about 22 countries with a population of 650 million. This is an important market, and it's open for any production which is done in Tanzania. But also we have AGOA access. This is African Growth Opportunity Act, an arrangement, unilateral arrangement that the government of the US decided to provide for the 40 African countries which are eligible to access their market through quota-free, tariff-free arrangement. So we have about over 6,000 products. Almost all the products can be exported to America as long as they've been manufactured in Tanzania without paying import duty in America. But we also have everything but arms arrangement with the European Union, 28 countries, 28 minus United Kingdom. We've been having that market access for quite a long time now, and we are negotiating the Economic Partnership Agreement, EPA, to upgrade the relationship between Tanzania and the European Union. So we can export even to the European countries from Tanzania as Tanzanian products. Now, we are very fortunate that logistically, it's very easy to connect the 2 countries. And as you can see, Tanzania is quite in the middle. When you come from Johannesburg to Cairo, Egypt, it's about 7,000 kilometers, and the middle of it is in Tanzania. And we have a point in Arusha, in Tanzania, where we mark the middle of the African country. And of course, Tanzania is in both EAC and SADC. That's only Tanzania. So you can access from Egypt the whole of this part here through Tanzania. But recently we've signed the Continental Free Trade Area for all the 54 African states in Rwanda, so that we connect now this side with the West African and Central African sides. So you can still access, using that framework, the entire African continent by producing right from Tanzania, as long as the production will create a rules of origin threshold of 30% of total value of the product to make it qualify as a domestically produced items. But also, it's easy to fly and to do business with us, because now it's logistically very challenging to do business with America, South America, with Europe, but easy, with the Chinese connection. This is the rare picture you can find in Africa, but also in the world, that this is the current president, this one. He took over from this one. Who took over from this one? And this one took over from this one. They're laughing. They're enjoying their moments in front of the public. This is very rare to find in Africa, very rare to find in the world. We are missing our first president, who is Mwalimu Nyerere. Is very well known here in China because he was the very close friend of Mao Zedong, Chairman Mao. So he passed away in 1999. But otherwise, he would have been an old man standing this side probably. So this is Tanzania, and that's why many people would love to come and invest in Tanzania, because they are very much assured of the peace and security and safety of their residents, but also their businesses. We are providing fiscal incentives, and it's my office, it's myself. I grant you a certain package of incentives by coming to invest in pharmaceuticals and medical equipment. In terms of bringing in machines and equipment, we don't charge any import duty. So it's zero rated import duty, but also no VAT that is charged. But also import duty on raw materials also is zero. But we provide 10% VAT on semi-finished products. And also we give relief to the capital goods. And what we deemed capital goods are parts and equipment which may deem to be capital goods, but they are not capital goods in nature, but they go hand in hand with capital. So we say we give an allowance of 75% off, so that we assist the project to take off. But the recently presented budget and approved by the Parliament indicated, which of course the Minister, the guest of honor today, talked about it in her opening remarks, that we have decided to recognize the importance of the government support to be extended over and above the customs tax. So we have reduced the corporate income tax for the first consecutive 5 years from 30%, this is the normal rate, to only 20%, so that we provide our support. This is for pharmaceuticals. But also we have the exemptions on taxes on packaging materials from pharmaceuticals, but also the government has been allowed by the Parliament to grant some special incentives to the projects, especially on the VAT, to the project which are conducted by an investor and the government as a part of PPP. But also we provide as non-fiscal incentives, which are not tax-related. For foreigners, we understand that when you come to invest in Tanzania, you need to come with, a number of executives, but also specialists or expatriates. So we provide automatic immigration quota of up to 5 expats initially, but we can add some more depending on the request and the need of the investor. But also we grant guarantee, as I said, we are members of MIGA, but also unconditional free repatriation of distributable dividend. After you get your profit, you pay your tax, you are allowed to export or to repatriate 100% of what is due to the shareholders. So we don't have any quantitative restriction in terms of percentage of your repatriation of funds. And also you access the international arbitration mechanisms. For the strategic investors, we have set a certain mechanism for the country to recognize the huge contribution that an investor may make. If the strategic investor from China has its investment, then we grant that type of investment special incentives over and above those prescribed by the law that I've already spoken about. So we have a committee which is led by our Prime Minister, and I am the secretary to the committee, and the sectoral ministers, including our minister today here, she's also a member. We sit together, we discuss, we go through the requests by this particular investor on what should the government grant in terms of incentives and support, and then the government do approve. Chinese investments so far in Tanzania, we have about 670 projects registered in Tanzania, implemented by the Chinese friends, who have created about 83,000 jobs, which is very important. But also they have the value of $5.8 billion US. So it's a huge investment in Tanzania. And we believe that you can come and join them, and you won't be new, you will be 671 plus. So you find the Chinese community already in Tanzania. But fortunately, almost over half, over 60% of these investments are in manufacturing. And we would love to see more manufacturing activities in pharmaceuticals to add up to already existing manufacturing base that you have created. In terms of key facts, I think my colleagues from MSD, they will come and talk about the market, including themselves as an immediate market. But we have a population growth rate of 3%, 2.7 to 3% annually. And our population, as I said, is about 52.6 million for the estimation done last year. But of course, we have the age groups. We have a growing age, but also we have 4.1% aged over 65% who usually fall sick and they need medication for the below 15 and over 65. So when you take this number, 4.1 and 49, when you add them up, it's over 50% of 52 million. That's immediately market. But also we have very few manufacturers back home, and they constitute only less than 6% of the total demand of the country, which is still very low. And we would wish Chinese friends come and join them and to put up more manufacturing plants, but also the already existing plants to get into joint venture with you. And some of them are here today, and the leader, Mr. Churchill Transoy, is here to assist you to try to get you to the right partner back home. And we, Tanzania Investment Center, will help you to find the right partner and facilitate to do investment. But we've been spending over $2 million US per annum to import drugs. This is only for foreign exchange. But the MSD has been the biggest consumer of pharmaceuticals on behalf of the government and my colleague is going to talk more about it. And on average, we spend 0.8 to $1 billion each year on pharmaceuticals and medical equipment. So it's a lucrative market that we can consider to enjoy from internal. So far, these are the manufacturers in Tanzania, but the capacity is not that high, and they constitute only 6%, which is still lower in terms of market demand. This has been the trend of pharmaceutical and healthcare forecasts. So you can see the focus is on the growth side. So the demand is high, the potential market is still there, and we hope that the Chinese friends are going to find it attractive and make a business case to come and redirect your investment decision to choose Tanzania. These are the medical devices and some equipment that we wish they are produced in Tanzania because the market is there. The market is big domestically, in the EAC, in SADC, in the entire African continent. We don't have production of this type of equipment and many more. But also we need to increase the number of health facilities, especially state-of-the-art facilities in Tanzania. So we wish those healthcare providers here in China would find it lucrative to come and invest in such, specialized hospitals in Tanzania to provide some diagnostic services, diagnostic centers in Tanzania, so that we join hands with the call of our president to come and improve our health sector. In terms of medical training and research, we are very much encouraging it, and that's why we have some colleagues from the ministry. They are here with us to make sure that we try to find the partnership, but also we have demarcated some special economic zones to allow for quick identification of the areas where investors can come in. Currently, we have already designed a 3D architectural design for Bagamoyo, but also have potential for Mtwara and then Kigoma to put up special economic zones dedicated for some specialized sectors, including pharmaceuticals, and we have potential in the red dots. So this is Tanzania, and this is Mozambique, Malawi, Zambia, Congo, this is Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya. So all these will be your immediate market. And this is the 3D architectural design for Bagamoyo. We hope that we're going to conclude with the China Merchant Port to build a port here for a fourth generation ship segment. But also we have logistics parks, tourist parks, but we need to have those industrial parks here for pharmaceuticals as well. So we wish to develop these kind of sites across the country. Now, to show that we are very serious, committed, and supportive to the investors who wishes to invest in pharmaceuticals in Tanzania, we have formed the National Technical Coordination Committee, which is comprised by government agencies and ministries and agencies. Yeah? And we hope that we are going to fast-track your applications for investment by all these sitting together and do the approval. Tanzania Investment Center, which I'm leading, is the primary agency of the government, which coordinates all the government authorities, be it the ministry or an institution or a department, in order to encourage investment, to promote and facilitate. And also, I'm the advisor to the government where I see that we need to change our policy or our procedures so that we create an environment which is more friendly to investors. And of course, I have with me in my office officers from Business Registration and Licensing Authority, BRELA, to register your product, to incorporate your company, but also Ministry of Labor, the Commissioner for Labor had sent her deputy. She's there sitting with me with some assistants to provide you with the work permit, Class A for investors and Class B for the workers or expatriates, but also residence permit for, I have 5 to 6 officers from Immigration Department, so you don't have to go to the Immigration Department, you just come to TIC and we get all the facilitation, all the Class A and B permit, residence permit, but also to get land, we do facilitate land acquisition, and in fact I'm the one who will grant you the land title, but also certificate of environment for the environmental impact assessment that will be required to undertake. The National Environmental Management Council has its officer at TIC to assist you in getting the approval, but also TBS, the Tanzania Bureau of Standards, but TFDA as well, Tanzania Foods and Drugs Authority, who the CEO is here with us. She also has its officer at TIC to assist an investor, so that you don't go around and knock doors of different government institutions, but to register your business as a taxpayer with the Revenue Authority. We have the officers from Tanzania Revenue Authority, so you don't have to go to the Tanzania Revenue Authority. Same for power connection, as well as to get registered with the Occupational Safety and Health institution. So we are sitting like this. An investor is in red. The beautiful white staff are from different government agencies at TIC to assist you, so that you don't have to go to each of these institutions individually. So I would like to welcome you to Tanzania, and Tanzania Investment Center will provide you with the necessary support so that you come and invest in the area where we think it matters most, and that's pharmaceuticals and medical devices. Thank you very much for listening. Asanteni sana.
谢谢。